Bird life is certainly prolific on Kangaroo Island, from coastal seabirds to the many colourful species found inland, particularly on the island's numerous lagoons. But it's the kangaroos, the very species that have given the island its name, that can be found hidden in scrubland across the island. Local wildlife expert Tim Williams knows where to find them. Tim, it's a wildlife paradise, this, Kangaroo Island.
It is. Got the Tamar wallabies, the Kangaroo Island kangaroo, an abundance of koalas, fur seals and sea lions, about 160 bird species, including your little penguins right around the coastline. So yeah, a good balance of habitat, and for the bigger macropods, improved pasture lands with the farms has led to high populations.
Even though there are high populations of this unique subspecies, you still have to work hard to find them in their natural habitat. Here we go. Two superb specimens of the Kangaroo Island Western Grey, and there are subspecies of the Western Greys on the mainland, South Australia, eh?
That's right. You can see already they've got the thicker, darker fur, more of a chocolate brown fur, and quite robust shoulders because of the terrain here. It is thought that they may well have become extinct had Europeans not replaced the grassland by farming here.
Now there are some 20,000 of these roos. You're telling me that from time to time they still need to be culled. There are almost too many of them.
Yeah, particularly around farmland, you've got that combination of a lot of bush and the pasture land and the permanent water around the farmland, so obviously the populations build up to unsustainable numbers. Some farmers reckon they're sacrificing 30 to 40% of their production of their farm just for feeding wildlife.
Here comes a roo. Look at this, Tim. Here is a roo.
Oh, you got the tail out. She's got the Joey's tail hanging out of the pouch.
Now that is something, the first sign of an emerging Joey.
First sign for this season, yeah.
And now it's been in the pouch about 4 months, 4 to 5 months.
Yep, yep.
And another week, 2 weeks, and that Joey will actually emerge from the pouch totally.
Fall in a tangled heap and gradually sort itself out, but it doesn't take too many trips out of the pouch before they get their act together and get to be pretty nimble. Look into this denser broom bush, and that's where we're likely to get Tamar wallabies hiding, trying to get some sun, but without being able to be taken by wedge-tailed eagles.
I can see one just
Here's
behind
one well camouflaged.
this bush here.
It's getting a few rays.
What sort of population are we looking at of Tamar wallabies here on Kangaroo
Some
Island?
estimates say up to 500,000 or more.
So no shortage of them?
Certainly no shortage on the island yet. Locally very common.
These Tamar wallabies in fact have been wiped out by predators, foxes, over on the mainland.
They're extinct on the mainland due to predation by foxes, plus the fact that their hiding places have been eaten out by rabbits, and also rabbits competing for food, taking a high percentage of the food, so they've just got nowhere to hide. They're in a weakened state. They've become extinct on the mainland due to that fox and rabbit introduction. And the island's well protected from those sort of introductions.
Now the wedge-tailed eagles, of course, have a massive wingspan, just can't get into this sort of foliage, which is the reason they like hiding here.
That's right. What you'll see them doing is swooping over this foliage in the hope of spooking a wallaby out into the open.
The absence of feral pests has also helped echidnas establish a substantial population on Kangaroo Island. They'll use their long snout to burrow for ants. And if threatened, their sharp quills protect them from predators. In the mating season, those quills will be flattened to safeguard their partner. Their ultimate protective measure are their sharp claws that allow them to dig quickly and disappear. The final wildlife spectacle on Kangaroo Island unfolds on dusk when most predators have disappeared. Hundreds of fairy penguins emerging from the sea after a day's fishing. Back on shore, they'll make a trumpet-like cry, calling for a mate. And once partnered, they'll head for the safety of their own burrows. Koalas are also prolific on Kangaroo Island. They're an introduced species and have thrived so much here, many are now being caught and relocated to the mainland. We'll show you the koala phenomenon in a coming episode of Travel Oz.